Am I really gonna review a movie made for children? Of course I am! Dogman, a film based on the 2016 book of the same name, definitely intrigued me when I first saw teasers for it. Growing up, I always read books from Dav Pilkey, Captain Underpants being no exception. Hell, I still fondly think about the Captain Underpants movie, and still waiting for a sequel, DreamWorks. What's the holdup? But when Dogman first arrived at bookstores, it was just out of my demographic. I wasn't a kid anymore. I had to read big kid books like Goosebumps and the Vietnam War. So going into this movie, I was skeptical as to how much I would enjoy this film from a book series I was partially unaware of and definitely not from my age demographic. Am I getting too old for these films? I thought to myself. Is all this just a distraction to keep myself occupied as I hurtle further and further into old age with no way of ever going back? That being said, I quite enjoyed myself with the film. There will be a few spoilers up ahead, so spoiler warning in case you haven't watched it yet. What caught me by surprise in my viewing was the presence of a short film at the beginning, which if memory serves correct might be the first ever instance of this, that being based on the bad guys. I absolutely adore the art style and animation of the bad guys. Not so much the humor though, this gets like a 5 out of 10, just nice eye candy but nothing worth writing home about. The movie we're here for, however, was a little different. Similarly to Captain Underpants, this film covers various ideas and plots from other entries in the series, rather than sticking tried and true to the first book. With that, however, makes the pacing to be a little too overbearing, specifically in the beginning, although it does start to mellow out in the middle half of the second act when Lil Petey is introduced. Where the real charm of this film lies, though, is the art style and general plot of the film. The film replicates George and Harold's art style to a T, of course with the exception of being in a 3D space. To those uninitiated, George Beard and Harold Hutchins are the in-universe creators of Dogman and Captain Underpants. The difference between the two series is that the Captain Underpants series focused primarily on real-world shenanigans, while Dogman existed purely in their world of comics. All of the characters have simple head shapes, 4 crudely drawn fingers, and in some cases, giant words on their outfits to indicate who they are, which I find really funny. The environments and locations are also very simply detailed, with plenty of square buildings and important locations just outright stating what they are. There's also a lot of design inconsistencies or plot elements solely there to move the plot along conveniently, indicating that George and Harold are adding things to move things along when they can't think of anything or just want something done easy. My favorite examples of these from the movie being that Dogman's little doghouse is small on the outside, but a 3-floor fully furnished house inside, or that Petey just orders a cloning device online after sifting through air fryers. Little things like that really add a childlike charm to the film, and really sells that yes, a couple of kids bored in class made this. One thing I do know from the Dogman series is that it has plenty of oddly profound and deep topics it touches, from a couple of kids in elementary school no less, and this film is no exception. There's some topics like abandonment and loneliness, but there is one moment that really stuck out to me. After Petey's dad runs off with the contents of their secret hideout, Lil Petey shows discontent with the world, similarly to Petey's own upbringing. And instead of feeding into it, Petey actually does something different, comforting Lil Petey, and telling him that the world isn't so bad because he's in it. The mention of Petey's dad also has an overarching theme of being absent from Petey's life, which may imply that Harold had an input in the dialogue, as his parents are canonically divorced. I'm also noticing a trend here with orange cats having daddy issues. The boys pour a lot of their own lives into these comics, and the film makes a nudge to this fact, such as a robot that's named ADHD, or George and Harold themselves making a cameo near the climax of the film. These small moments definitely don't deter from the humor of the film, however. I definitely found myself chuckling a few times during the screening, and had a bit going where I would silently applaud for every fart or butt joke made in the film, in which I only did 2 times. So surely that must mean a good thing about the humor of the film. All in all, the film was very nice to watch. I do think I still prefer Captain Underpants, partially due to familiarity, but I'll give Dogman a 7 out of 10. I definitely recommend this film if you're looking for something purely whimsical and just fun overall. I will be eating out of my Dogman commemorative popcorn bowl, oh yeah. But with that being said, my name's been Beefaroni, and I'll catch you in the next one.